So, hiya guys, welcome back to After the Applause. You do not understand how long it's taken us to get a date in the calendar to do this interview.
Yeah, I can't lie, it's been a lot.
It's been the longest.
Like I don't know, you've heard labels maybe, yeah?
Yeah, I've done a good stalk.
Yeah.
I've seen like
to be honest, a lot of people don't know about labels. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about that song. So a lot of people now that have joined the journey don't know that I started off as a rapper.
No,
Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad to know that I'm the only person still stuck in the past.
Just a little.
Yeah. Hey guys, how we doing? My name is Grumpy and you're tuned into After the Applause.
This is After the Applause. Hiya guys, welcome back to After the Applause. This is episode 29. 29. How wild, I've been doing this for 29 episodes. Thank you so much if you've been tuning in from day one and you've been loving everything, interacting. If you haven't, welcome. This is After the Applause and my name is Saoirse Marie. This is a podcast highlighting and platforming underground artists, events, everything grassroots within the music scene in the north of England. As you can probably tell from this video, I am still slowly learning how to use a camera. So just be patient with me with these next few episodes because I've got some really exciting news that we've got a new location that we're recording the interviews in, which is Renee, a new bar in the Northern Quarter. It's got this beautiful backdrop with vinyls on the shelves and a DJ booth at the front. And I've been recording the most recent interviews in there. This is the first one. However, obviously I'm still learning to use a camera, like I said, and the mood lighting in there's a little darker. So the camera had to get brightened up a little bit. If you're watching on YouTube and Spotify, just bear with me for the next few episodes because a few of them are going to be like that. But now I've figured it out, it's not a problem anymore. If you're just listening audioily, I think that's a word. If you're just listening via audio, then don't worry because the sound quality is still perfect. It's still pretty immaculate. So yeah, the first guest that I had in Renee is Grumpy. Grumpy is a rapper turned experimental artist. I'll let him explain why we're classing him as an experimental artist. You'll hear about it in the interview. He's also part of the Factory Sounds class of 2025, which is being sponsored by Adidas this year, which we also spoke about in the interview. Again, I'll let him go into detail about that. The first time I met Grumpy, he was performing at Inner Ink in April, and we were just having a conversation. This is still very early days of After the Applause, I guess, and it was when After the Applause was still audio based. And we had such a great conversation. He was really supportive of the idea, and then I watched him perform and he was incredible. The way he had the audience engaged from the get-go and the kind of uplifting mood he put everyone in was just really enjoyable to watch and be a part of. So I had to get him on the podcast, obviously. And you don't understand how long it's taken us to find a date to do this. So the fact that I even got him on the podcast is a miracle. I'm going to just dive straight into it. On this episode with Grumpy, we talk about his transition from rap music to his new style and new sound. We talk about discussing religion within songs. We talk about how he's felt with the transition, how other people have reacted to the transition, and his whole experience in the Manchester music scene. This is Grumpy.
What was the first gig I ever went to? Probably K-Trap, you know. Okay. If I'm going back to as far as I can remember, K-Trap, I think there was a friend of mine, G-Cuts, I used to work with him a while ago. He invited me to his opening. It was an album release, and then he was doing like a show to promote the album release. So I think that was if not the first, one of the first kind of shows or gigs that I went to. Yeah, so it was good. It was nice. There was a couple well-known faces there, which was nice. And yeah, it was really cool. It was in Shoreditch in London, I remember.
Did that have any impact on what you wanted to do as an artist?
I think it was good to see. Like, it was a private event, so it wasn't like anybody was just invited. Not private like that. A couple of his like fans could come, but he'd invite a couple people, you know, and so a few people would be selected to come because it was almost like a promotional opening party kind of thing to his album, almost like a listening party, but he was performing as well with a couple people. So yeah, it was cool. I think it was cool to see, especially because I was doing rap at the time. So, you know, K-Trap was, you know, one of our well-renowned rappers at the time. So yeah, it was cool. It was really cool to see. I wouldn't say like it sparked anything in me or anything like that when I was there, but yeah, it was really cool. It was good to see. Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Amazing. Had a slight impact on you, but not a full impact.
Yeah. I think it was just more so just very cool to be in the room and kind of, you know, see like how, you know, his journey has gotten him to where he is and the type of people that were in the room at the time and whatnot. And also just different ways to kind of promote. Even as I'm speaking to you now, I'm realizing, that's another really cool way to kind of promote something like an album release. So yeah, it was cool. It was nice.
Your music has been described as a unique Afrofusion sound. How would you describe your music?
If I'm going to generalize my music, I would say yes, Afro swing, Afro fusion, you know. Obviously, speaking to you, I've come into Afro beats quite recently. I've been doing Afro beats for about 2.5 years now, coming out of rap. So for me, it's like I've learned so much up until this point, and I feel like there's still so much I need to learn. And there's so much that I'm still, you know, experimenting with my music. So in terms of boxing it to, I don't know. In a way, I wouldn't even just say that it's Afro fusion, Afro swing, or whatever it is, because even in my recent track that I recorded in the studio, I mixed a little bit of blues into, you know, the Afro type of sound, and it sounded amazing to me. So if that's the genre that I go down from now, is that I don't know. But we're experimenting and we're trying new things and we're loving the process, you know. We're just going along with the process, loving it. And yeah, so I would just describe my music as free, fun. I wouldn't say my music is like club music. I would say it has a bit more substance than you know, just
a bit more depth.
A bit more depth, definitely. Like, you can dance to my music, you can there's certain songs that's like very upbeat and whatnot, but there are also songs where it's like, you need to actually understand the meaning and the understanding of this song a bit more than, you know, than me just stepping on the dance floor and dancing to it, you know. And I kind of like that because that reflects me and it reflects my personality. I overthink. I'm a chronic overthinker. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I do think a lot, and you know, my music reflects my experiences. You know, like up until this point, and some, like we all know, life. Some of those experiences are not the greatest or pleasant, and it's a great way to be able to express myself through my experiences. You know, in that music. So yeah.
Amazing. So you kind of said there that you're in a kind of experimental phase with your music and trying out different sounds, and you're loving the process. Have you felt any pressure at all whilst you've been in this process to niche yourself and find a specific sound?
Yeah, definitely. Like, even coming out of rap and going into like Afro beats, for example, there was people, industries and, you know, managers and whatnot that was interested in my sound, like my rap sound, you know. But then me growing and just like becoming more of the artist I wanted to become, I kind of wanted to leave rap a little bit because I was coming out of that mentality. I don't know, to me, to be a rapper in this day and age or in the UK, you almost have to carry some sort of persona, which I didn't think I was anymore, you know, in a way. And so, like, for me, like, when it just came to rap, I just felt very limited in a way. I felt like I can do a lot more with my music, but it's like, I don't know why I was having those feelings, you know? I didn't know why I was feeling the way that I felt, but I felt very limited. And I felt like the people around me that loved my rap music loved that side of me and loved that type of music, but they didn't understand, how limited it made me feel in a way. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of the only resistance almost that I felt with coming out of that. On top of what I said as well, yeah, obviously you get people that, will tell you, oh, you sound like this person, or you sound like that person, oh, you should do this, you should do, yeah, there's so many opinions, when it comes to music. And it's like, but I've never really, me, like, I'm a free bird. You get me? So it's like, let me fly. You feel me? But yeah, no, like, as much as you get the opinions, you get the whatever it is music, and it's the way I express myself, and it's like, however I feel to express myself on that day and whatnot, like, that's just what I do, There's a lot of great examples of great musicians who express themselves in whatever way, and I like learning from that. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of opinions that I think is very valuable, a lot of voices that I listen to when it comes to my journey and stuff. But there's also a very big voice in my head of that, just self-awareness and just being confident in my creative ability, I guess,
We've touched upon it a little bit there, your transition from rap to your new sound, your new experimental sound. And obviously, your style has changed a lot as well. You've gone from songs like Labels to Zidane.
Yeah.
What instigated this change for you? What made you want to move away from rap?
I don't think it was anything in particular that made me feel like, oh, I need to move. It's just that exactly what I said to you about feeling limited, I think growing up, like, nobody told me, oh, Grumpy, you can sing. You get me? Oh, Grumpy, you're a good singer, da-da-da-da-da. I kind of just had to find my voice. A massive part of me finding my voice is being a part of the choir in church, I was part of the choir from a young age, but even then, like, I was just part of it because I felt like that's, like, my whole family is quite musical. My dad was also always the choir leader as well, so I just kind of felt like, oh, it just feels right that this is the sector I should be in from when I was young. But nobody told me, oh, Grumpy, you're a great singer or anything like that. I couldn't hit high notes. I still can't, and like do the riffs and whatever. But you then grow and then you understand that there's so many different range of singers, there's so many different types of singers, so many tonal ranges and whatever, and if you can stick to your niche and understand, the range of where you can sing, and what sounds nice to your voice, and you just understand a bit more about music, you start to feel like, yo, I actually feel quite limited in just rapping. Rapping is amazing. Don't get it twisted. Like, I feel like I'm slandering rap. I love rap and I still do rap, And even if you hear some of my music now, like Nostalgia, for example, which is coming out on the EP. Watch out for the EP, by the way. Quick promo. Yeah, Nostalgia. What else? On Stage, Hallelujah. You can hear elements of rap. Do you get what I'm saying? In my music, so I still love it, and I'll never lose rap. I'll probably do a project or a song where I just rap anyways. It's all a part of me, But I don't want to just be boxed to being a rapper, Like, I just wanted to develop and discover music on a wide scale, That's why I think I kind of went away from rap a little bit.
This style transition that you've had, how has it changed you as a person and as an artist?
I think as a person, it's definitely made me more in tune with my culture. Like, I'm Yoruba, I'm from Nigeria, so it's allowed me to implement my language into my music, which has then caused me to obviously learn more about my culture, learn more about home, being interested in going back home. I'm going back home this year in October as well, and I think that would be great for me to just, experience that place, because it means I've not been back since I left. I left when I was 7, so that's like, what, I don't know, 18, I don't know, so something like that years ago.
Too much maths for this time in the morning.
It's early, guys, please. But yeah, and I'm very excited to go back. I think it will be a massive eye-opener for me. And yeah, I think I'll have a lot more to talk about, I love experiencing because it allows me to just have more things to talk about, in my music and stuff. And yeah, I think as an artist, it's definitely made me more confident in my abilities. It's definitely like opened up a side of me that, like, crazy like creative side of me, you know, more than just, you see, like rap. I describe rap as being very direct, you know. If you have something to say, you say it. Like no one can't tell me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You can't tell me anything. This is what I have to say, and I'm gonna say it. And whether you like it or not, I'm gonna say it. You know, that's rap, very direct. And then when it comes to singing and stuff, it's like you can be a little bit more, you know, blasé with what you're trying to say. You know, you can be a bit more creative with what you're trying to say. Like in terms
it feels
of,
like what you're saying with the directiveness of rap, it's a lot more tunnel vision. Yeah. This is how it is. But with what you're doing now, you have more of an open-mindedness.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, almost. It's kind of like the extent at which I could take the creative side of the music opens up a lot more, you know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, like there's still times where you need to be very direct with what you're trying to say, especially with the way I rap. The way I rap is like very like I'm stern, you know, like when I'm rapping, and you know that was my genre of rap. So it's quite, you know, there's metaphors and whatever to beat around whatever, but ultimately I'm saying what I'm saying. And it's like, it's almost like I'm telling someone off almost in a way when I'm rapping, but yeah.
How, if you can say fan base, how have your fan base or how has the music scene taken to this transition and this change within your music?
I'm very, very grateful. Like a lot of people have, you know, embraced the change. People who even knew me as a rapper and, you know, into what I'm doing now, they've just showered me with comments like it suits me a lot more, you know. I seem a lot happier. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it suits my personality and whatever it is, you know. I think like coming into music as, you know, the name Grumpy, you know, Grumpy stems from somewhere, and I genuinely used to be very grumpy, you know. So
which I actually cannot imagine, just from having met you and your just whole persona. I can't see that.
I know, but back in the day, like that used to be the persona, you know, and rap complemented that persona, so it worked hand in hand, you know. So when you hear me rap and you hear the name, it's like, okay, this makes sense, you know. But with the type of person I am now to, you know, to that type of person I was back then, it's like is completely different, you know, and it's a good different. And I think the name stayed because it's like, for me, it's almost like a remembrance of, you know, of who, like, you can't lose a part of yourself. That grumpy is still a part of me. Do you get what I'm saying? But ultimately, you can change as a person as you grow, as you mature, you know, as you become whoever it is that you become, that changes. So with the music changing, it made sense for certain people who knew me genuinely, like my closer people. It made sense to them as to why that's the route that I went down. And for the people that join a bit later on down the line, and some who knew that I did rap before and some who don't, they really like it, you know. So I'm very grateful, and yeah, I've got a lot of great people who support the music. So yeah, it's good.
Earlier you talked about how you've been part of the church choir for a long time. You were part of the youth choir at church, and you're also still active in the church choir now. You speak about religion quite a bit in your music as well. My question for you is, have you ever been anxious about putting music out there, talking about religion? Because that can be quite a controversial topic at times, and some people aren't as supportive or take it as, you know, lightly.
Yeah, I think at this point in my career, like, I am who I am, you know, and people are either going to like it or they're not, you know. And I think even to every musician that's out there, you know, like, thinking about opinions of other people before you can creatively do something will always hinder you, you know. I'm a strong believer in music flows, you know. It flows through your body, it flows through your mind. You get me? And sometimes, like, even with normal lyrics that doesn't talk about religion, sometimes when, like, I'm writing, usually I pick the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't really ponder on lyrics too much, you know. So I kind of just allow the music to flow through me. as much as possible. And usually whatever flows through me is what sits. You get me? So I just feel like more than it is just like me constantly thinking about lyrics and, you know, thinking about this and that, if what flows through me music wise is that and me talking about God and my religion, that's what I put down and that's what I speak about, you know. If that's how what I'm listening to is making me feel, or if that's how I feel in that moment, then that's what I talk about. It's definitely, obviously, I wouldn't say it's a controversial topic. I think obviously there's people that are religious and there are obviously people that are non-religious, you know, which is completely fine. Like everybody can, you know, believe in what they believe in and not believe in whatever they don't want to believe in, you know. But ultimately, like, your integrity as an artist is to never conform to that, or never conform to the opinions of others just because, you know, you don't want to be viewed a certain way and whatnot, you know. And if you are a follower of Christ, or you know, like you are religious and you're Christian and whatnot, that should, for me, it's something you should be proud of, number one. And number two, it's something that, you know, if you feel like you want to mention in your music, you should be able to do so with, yeah, you should just be able to do so, for me anyways, really. So it's definitely something I thought about. It's not like, oh, I've never felt any form of whatever. There's, especially coming out of doing rap as well. Even, have I spoken religiously? No, probably not. But it's like, I've always, with my music, I've always kind of, there's always things I wouldn't do or say in my music. For example, I don't swear in my music, but that's just personal choice, you know? It's just, I want my music to be applicable to everybody. That's why I don't swear, because I know there might be children listening to this. So if I'm outside and I see children walking across the street, I'm not just gonna swear. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Just because I know and I'm aware that there's children around, I try not to swear normally anyways. Sorry, mom. But what's it called? In my music, I definitely don't, just because, you know. So that's just one of the things about me that I don't know. So musically, there's always been, like, I've always thought to myself, oh, what is it that, you know, that I'm happy to put into my music, and what is it that I'm not happy to put in my music, you know? But yeah, my religion, I think, yes, definitely there's been points where I've kind of been like, do I want to include this into my music, if I'm being as transparent as possible? But then it just goes back to what I'm saying in terms of, this is who I am, you know, and if I'm accepted, I want to be accepted for who I am, you know, and not who I pretend or like, you know, close myself up to.
Your whole self.
My whole self, in a way.
You're part of Factory Sounds class of 2025. How has this supported and benefited you as an artist this year?
Factory Sounds is an amazing organisation. Obviously, I applied to it end of last year, got accepted onto the programme. Then we attended like an initial meeting to just introduce ourselves to everybody along. You know, they funded me. Yeah, so they gave each artist a good amount. And then on top of that, they arranged like monthly meetups. They call it our cohort meetings, where we sit down with an industry expert. They speak to us about what it is they do, how they've gotten to the point where they've gotten to, you know, advise us in any way they can. And yeah, allow us to, you know, ask them questions. They give us great answers. You know, they support us in so many different ways. I can reach out to the organizers for help in whatever that I feel like I want help with. They've teamed up with Adidas this year as well, which has been a great help. So my mentor is actually somebody that works for Adidas. She's helped me in the whole, you know, we've had meetings in terms of like the whole social media aspect of stuff, how to market yourself properly. Lara, shout out Lara, amazing woman. And yeah, like just in so many different ways. So away from like the monetary aspects of it all, you know, helping towards the EP, there's also the mentoring support, the support that they give to artists that they actually look after. We're even doing the Festival Square that's coming up, you know, this month.
What is the purpose and or main message that you want people to get from Grumpy and from your music?
I want, when people hear my music, I want them to feel at peace. You know, that's it. I just want, you know, like, I've always believed that music is one of the most powerful things in this world. Like, genuinely, music is one of those things that can evoke any emotion out of anybody. You know, music can make you laugh, cry, jump, sing, dance, whatever, you know? And when people hear my music, I want them to feel a general sense of peace. You know, I want that feeling of like, oh, if somebody needs a hug, my music is almost like that for them. You know, you can come home from a hard day, listen to me and kind of just kick back and think, yeah, like, this is cool. Like, I'm calm. You get what I'm trying to say? Because I think music has done that for me a lot of times in my life, you know? And yeah, my general message is just, yeah, I know my name's Grumpy, but just everybody should just be happy. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, everybody should just make other people happy, compliment people as much as you can, you know, and like be grateful for the people that, you know, have changed your life, number one, in any way, shape or form. And grateful for the people that, you know, that just allow you to just keep going on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, man, just be cool. You get me?
Yeah, that's actually a beautiful answer. I really like that. The fact you want to be kind of like a peace and a comfort for everyone.
Yeah, almost, you know, like there's a lot. I think my music is more than just zone out and dance. You know, you can zone out and dance to it. And if that's how you feel from listening to my music, then by all means zone out and dance. But it's like, I would hope that there's words there that encourage people and, you know, that can take people out of different places, wherever that is. You know, there's things there that, you know, we all universally feel. There's emotions that we can universally feel. And I just hope that maybe somebody who actually tunes in and likes my sound and relates with me can understand that whatever it is they're going through, you know, Grumpy has more or less kind of been through that experience as well, in whatever way that is, you know, and you can tell through the lyrics, you know, my music is my truth and it's my life, you know, I don't lie and I just kind of just say what's happened, you know, so if you relate with that, then yeah, I kind of just want it to encourage certain people because we've been through experiences, we've come out of it, we're here, we're doing podcasts, you know, we're laughing and we're still here, you know, we're still living and tomorrow's still going to be amazing. So that's kind of what I want the music to represent, really. What
future plans do you have for Grumpy? What's coming up over the next year for you?
I've got an EP coming out end of August, maybe beginning of September. I've not finalized the date yet, but it will be around that time. And yeah, it's all the songs are completed, just need to get mastered. Then there's going to be a couple campaign stuff, promo going out and whatnot. And then that's just going to be the main focus for the rest of the year, just the EP, pushing it out, you know. And I think that EP is just going to represent the sound, my sound, you know. I feel like I've been a bit wishy-washy. You know, coming into Afro beats is like, I've been experimenting, yes. On stage sounds different to Hallelujah. Hallelujah sounds different to If I Go and whatnot. But the EP is going to solidify the sound a little bit more, you know. When you go listen to Michael Jackson or you listen to, you know, kind of what sound you're going to get from them artists. So I feel like that EP is going to solidify the sound a little bit and just bring it down to a niche, you know, kind of what to expect and the direction that we're going and moving forward. So yeah.
How do people keep up to date with what you're doing? How do they keep an eye out for the EP?
Mainly just through my Instagram, you know. Instagram is grumpy_mg, mainly through there. I post a lot on TikTok as well. You can follow my silliness on Snapchat sometimes as well. And my YouTube, you know, is just Grumpy everywhere. So yeah, just keep up on my social media, really and truly. And I do a couple shows around Manchester. I came back from Sheffield last week to do a show as well. So I go around the place to just do a couple shows and whatnot. Just, you know, spread the music, spread the word. And yeah, that's just keep up that way through. I share everything on my social media. So if you follow me on
You're the first person, artist, interviewee that said that they use Snapchat still. Snapchat is crazy. Snapchat's crazy.
Do you know why I use Snapchat? Shall I tell you why? There's a lot of... I don't know why I use Snapchat.
You're trying to make an excuse for still being on Snapchat.
No. You see me... Oh, you got me. Listen, yeah, you see Snapchat. Snapchat is great, yeah? I will always love Snapchat because Snapchat has done a lot for me. Do you understand? That's what I'm gonna say. Snapchat has done a lot for me.
All right, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on Snapchat though. Especially the younger generation. They're still on Snap and they like to keep up with. I to be honest, I try my best with Snap, but I'm very bad on there. But I still do promote my music on there. I try my best to like put myself out there a little bit as much as I can. I feel like as an artist, it comes with the job in it, you know, trying to keep on top of your socials and whatnot. So I try my best. Okay.
I think it's great that he's really enjoying this experimental phase of his music career and music journey. You really do have to love the whole journey towards your destination and your goal, because you learn so much on the way to build you into this artist, this creative that you want to be. I think if you dread it all the whole way, then what's the point of reaching that goal in the end? And I really like the fact that just because he is now creating a different sound, he's not afraid to talk about where he started, because he wouldn't be where he is now if he hadn't started in rap. And I think that his trajectory being so unique just makes his whole career more authentic. Grumpy made a lot of really great points throughout that interview, but the one point he made that really stuck with me was allowing doubt and what other people think of you will be what holds you back from continuing on your journey. And I think that is a really important point to pick out, because so many people that I speak to, creatives, artists, everyone in their own life trajectories, the thing that is holding them back is that worry of, and I guess that fear of failure, and just what other people might think of them if they go down that path. And he's so right. You allowing these judgments from others and doubts from other people to cloud your dreams and your journey will be what hinders you. The opportunity with Factory Sounds that Grumpy mentioned sounds incredible. It's not just to support you financially, but they want to support you after the finances and with stuff that you can use throughout your journey and throughout your creative or musical career. It's available for artists and other creatives within the industry. So if you're watching this and you are either of those things, then definitely go check out the application for next year or the year after. I don't know. They don't sponsor me, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. Grumpy's performing at Aviva Studios on the 17th of July. That's this Thursday. So if you're in Manchester, you're around, you need to go check him out. And I'll leave his socials in the description for you below. And keep an eye out for that EP, because it's going to be mega. I'm excited. Thank you so much to Grumpy for coming on and having a chat with me about everything in his musical journey and career so far. It was honestly an honour to have you on, and we did have quite a laugh. Thank you so much again, loyal viewers, loyal listeners, for tuning in to After the Applause. I hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something from it, gained something from it, just enjoyed listening to the chat. And please subscribe, please follow, please like, please comment, share, do your thing, get the word out about the podcast. And I'm very excited, as always. I'm always excited. I'm always so excited. I'm really excited for the lineup of guests we've got coming on. Honestly, there's just great conversation after great conversation, and you would just be a fool to miss any of them. See you next week on After the Applause. Bye.